Another day, another July start. It is 6 o'clock. Welcome to your Tuesday morning, and you can see the sky very slightly starting to light up this morning as the sun is about to come up for us. I know it does feel like summer, but it's like a slight break that we have out there right now. Look, Julia, people are starting to run and jog.
Oh, I don't know, that air quality, you got to keep an eye on that if you're doing that outdoors. No, we'd like to welcome you in here to Sunrise on at 6 o'clock here. I'm Julia, along with Julia and Matt back with us. We're glad you are with us as well. But the weather really kind of hit or miss today, but we're not talking about any major severe storms, it sounds like.
Yeah, if anything did turn severe, it's on the lower side.
Okay.
This won't be a crazy day for us, but maybe they're running to go get their junk food. It's National Junk Food Day.
It is National Junk Food. Finally, a day that celebrates my choices.
Bring that chips.
Yes, I love that.
But we do have some rain chances to talk about.
Okay.
Not everyone gets wet, but a few of us could get a good downpour. We have actually had already a few around the Peru area, Miami County. Good morning. We're waking up a little wet this morning. Also, look around Kokomo. We've got a new downpour sitting right over the Wildcats this morning. Eastbound into Grant County, we've been getting skimmed, especially the north side of Marion. Blackford County, now Jay County. We're getting some of the heaviest rain coming in towards Portland. Indianapolis, though, Carmel, Fishers, Greenwood, Greenfield, Brownsburg, you're thinking, where's my rain? There's nothing out there. It's completely dry. Well, I tell you what, we're in this tug of war right now. We're either going to get a stronger morning round or a stronger afternoon round. And right now, the morning round is starting to get a little bit weaker. So the afternoon round that could be out there, especially south and east of Indianapolis, may be a little bit stronger. But right now we're dry, we're cloudy. We've got a little bit of air quality issue still today, although that's been slowly trying to get a little bit better. Taking up north, though, we've had some downpours around Bunker Hill in Peru, around the Air Reserve Base up there in Miami County. Looking in Grant County, got some rain too. There are still more pop-ups to the north and west, but they're very hit or miss. So this morning, a few showers and rumbles. Later this afternoon, though, we'll possibly get a few thunderstorms. The temperature's warm from the 70s up to the 80s later today. It is a warm start. It's a comfortable start. A little humid out there too. I tell you what, after the rain chances, a cold front's going to come through and really knock out the temperatures. But coming up, we'll have that timeline for some rain and storm chances throughout the day today. But this morning, how is I-70 looking, Lindsay?
Oh, we've got some issues out near the Greenfield area. Not only is this a construction zone, we also just got a report there is now an incident in the construction zone here along I-70 in the westbound direction. So you're actually looking east. We obviously have some crews out there doing some work along this stretch, so that is causing a little bit of a slowdown in the eastbound direction. But we do have a crash now approaching where that Greenfield arrest area is. So it's in the westbound direction, kind of behind these trees where things are starting to really back up. We'll flip this over to the maps and show you where this is located. Right here along I-70 westbound, we've got the crash just past 1050 east as you're coming up on that rest area. One more look at the bigger picture. This whole stretch is in a construction zone where we do have some limited travel. One lane that is now blocked in the westbound direction. So just a quick heads up there over at Hancock County, I-70 west running a little slow due to construction and now an incident. Guys.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. Well, a new tax that could soon cost Greenwood drivers more every year is one step closer to becoming law.
The Common Council unanimously approved a wheel tax and vehicle excise surtax. Might sound familiar. Marina Silva's in studio breaking down what now Greenwood drivers could soon be paying. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, for many of you, this might be deja vu hearing this. This time the tax increase is for Greenwood, yet the reasoning is still the same: to fix the roads. The Common Council voted to increase the tax to $50 for a wheel tax, and larger vehicles would pay $40. Council President Mike Campbell says the city felt backed into a corner, arguing state lawmakers tied future road funding to local governments contributing more of their own money. Now, it all deals with Senate Bill 1. It's a law aimed at saving homeowners and property taxes, but it means less funding for communities.
The governor has said if we don't have skin in the game, then we're not going to get any help from the state. We feel like we're being forced into this by the state.
Well, the city controller says Greenwood would lose out on being able to do essentially $3 million of road projects every year, and city leaders say they can't afford to delay them. Now, once the mayor signed this, it would go into law in 2027. So like I said, deja vu for a lot of people, especially here in Marion County. We saw a lot of people very emotional about this. So coming up at 6:30, I'll kind of break down the differences and the similarities between both of them.
It makes you feel like these probably won't be the only two counties and towns that might be moving in this direction, Marina. Thank you.
Well, the proposal also, as she'd mentioned, is very familiar. We will tell you that Mayor Joe Hogsett did veto that proposal to raise the wheel tax and excise surtax in Marion County. So the City County Council President Maggie Lewis told us that they will hold a vote to override that veto at next month's meeting. Some councilors do say it's needed to reach that $50 million match in money from the federal government. Mayor Hogsett released a plan as well to cover that money in other ways. So we do have all those details listed for you right now online. Well, a hot topic from the last legislative session could be brought up again this coming session.
We're talking about redistricting, but now there is a petition to try and keep it off the agenda for next year. Anna Chalker is live this morning after hearing so much about this last session. What's behind this new effort? Good morning, Anna.
Well, ladies, the clock is ticking with this one because we've got just 5 months until the session is back up and these lawmakers are back here at the State House. But this petition is asking them if you've gotten any pressure right now or you're expecting it when it comes to this session when we're talking about redistricting again. They're saying try to reject it, but also it's asking these lawmakers to not look at this redistricting debate, talk about it until the census in 2030. In Common Cause Indiana, they're one of the 25 groups that are behind this petition, and they say this is a preemptive strategy. The group says the petition is giving users a voice before they vote in the November election. And while this is targeted to every lawmaker, the group says they wanted this to reach the candidates who beat out the 6 sitting Republicans who voted against redistricting and lost their primary elections.
Public opinion was overwhelmingly opposed to this in 2025, and that's something that hasn't changed. So we just need to continue to make our voices heard to our lawmakers. That's how we'll stop it if it comes up again.
So under Indiana Constitution, redrawing the congressional map can only happen every 10 years, so 2030, when that new population numbers are released. And it's not only these groups in the petition that's talking to these lawmakers right now, as some of them are already getting ahead of this session, looking at some of their plans of bills they're going to propose, some of them including these redistricting talks. So coming up, we'll share how one is talking about potentially changing the wording in the Constitution so the ways that the maps are redistricted aren't changed.
Okay, we'll check in with you soon, Anna. Thank you.
Well, a former director of a Brownsburg daycare is sentenced to 6 years in prison connected to an investigation to child sex crimes. Investigators say Jennifer Lingbeck dismissed parents' concerns of abuse at Main Street University for Kids. Now, along with the prison time, she'll serve a year of home detention followed by parole. She pleaded guilty to neglect and failure to make a report.
A man accused of causing a deadly hit-and-run crash now wants to plead guilty to the crime. Caprice Glass is the man you see here in his first appearance in Marion County Court yesterday. Police say that he ran a red light and hit Brianna Evans in downtown Indianapolis, killing her earlier this month. She was riding an electric scooter at the time. He's expected to change his plea in court again in a couple months.
Well, a woman will now spend 10 years in prison for shooting at a dryer repairman that came into her house.
So this started March of 2024. Reba Wilson called Nate Baird to fix her machine. Prosecutors say that Baird did the work, but Wilson refused to pay and then pulled a gun on him. Baird ran away and heard a gunshot as he got out of the home. Wilson did just accept a plea deal, admitting to criminal confinement and intimidation.
Wilson does have multiple sclerosis. You see her there in the courtroom in a wheelchair. She and her attorney argue for home detention so she can receive care, but also noted her 21 previous arrests during her sentencing.